Kal Halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashai Bahasham Rakah HaKodash Barakatah Yahweh Barakatah Yahawashai Barakatah Yahweh Barakatah Yahawashai Shalom. Giving double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and who are truly in the forefront of leading this truth. Shalom to the elect. Shalom. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. As we look around and see where we are in prophecy in today's times, there's a lot of mourning going on. There's a lot of crying and sighing and being very sorrowful. There's people crashing out on internets, social media, in the store, just crashing out in the street, having nervous breakdowns over gas prices, food prices, taxes, mortgage prices, trying to make ends meet. How they're going to survive, where they're going to live, how they're going to go. Those are indications that the people are doing this because the wicked are ruling. The wicked. Who are the wicked? We notice that's Esau, the Edomites. They rule in governments. They rule in cities. Anywhere where there's some type of board or people to make decisions, you will find them there making decisions to make the lives of people so much harder, to put a crush under them, to ultimately take everything that they can and leave them with nothing. That's how we know that the wicked are bearing rule. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24 and verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. Slakia, languish. These Edomites are corrupting and have corrupted the world, the earth, damaging the earth. They do not follow the land Sabbath. Every 7 years, let the land rest. They don't follow that at all. They bring nothing but disease, sickness, and deaths. And they're cancers. And they're so wicked that they want to have a pharmaceutical company to sell you so-called medicine to fight these symptoms and to overcome these symptoms that you get better. But the medicine is liable to make it worse. That's why the people are sighing and crying. And also, this is not medical advice. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. They take all the minerals out the earth and leave none. All the deforestation. The haughty people of the earth do languish. We're going to take a look at Blue Letter Bible. Salakia. You're going to get that. Right here. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. Let's get that word for haughty. Scroll down.
Strong's H 4791. Marom.
Right here. Go straight to the point. Proudly. These people are proud. And they stand against Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi. So although they're crashing out and having their crashing out parties and ceremonies and crying the blues because they don't have enough money to take care of themselves or feed their children, they are still proud. They're on the side of Esau, which is being on the same side as the wicked. So for all our 2/3 Jakes out there, we don't feel sorry for you, and you're going to go through even worse because you have turned your back on Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi, which is your power and your power source. So you're going to go through, and you're going to go through until you're ultimately destroyed. Anyone else that's going through crash outs because of these situations that's not of Israel, you don't matter. You're going to be destroyed. The proudly. Let's go back. The haughty people of the earth do languish. Let's go back to Blue Letter and get that for languish. It's right here.
Strong's H 535. Amal, Amal,
Amen.
Gesenius lexicon, Amal, Amal, or Amael, Amael,
There we go. To be weak, to droop, to be exhausted, to be weak, droop, to be or grow feeble, to languish. So that's what the earth is, the earth is going through this, to droop. That's what happens when plants and trees need water. They begin to go droopy. They look sick. Something is wrong. They need to be fixed. But the solution is only going to show itself when YAHAWASHI comes back to save the elect. That's the solution. When this America is completely destroyed and the kingdom is given back to Jacob. Let's go back. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. They practice nothing to preserve the earth. They don't practice the land Sabbath. They did away with that. They don't believe in it. And they just take all the minerals out the earth and the oil and all the other essentials for their own selfish benefit. And everything that's left over is just dead. This is a Cree Indian proverb that was said to the Edomites because of the industrialization. Only when the last tree has died and the last river been poisoned and the last fish been caught will we realize we cannot eat money. And the Cree Indians are Israelites. They are the northern tribe. Now, also, this could have been from the southern tribe because of the scattering and the mixing when we were reclassified. All right. This is Revelation chapter 11 and verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. We're going to get this scripture in the Amplified. All right, this is Revelation 11 and 18 in the Amplified. And the nations, we see Gentiles, became enraged, and your wrath and indignation came, and the time came for the dead to be judged, and the time came to reward your bondservants, the prophets, and the saints, the people of the Most High, and those who fear your name, the small and the great, and the time came to destroy the destroyers of the earth. So there's a time coming for the destroyers of the earth to be destroyed. Who's the destroyers of the earth? Esau. And also those that collaborate with Esau to destroy the earth and to carry out wicked abominations alongside with him. And the nations, Gentiles, became enraged, and your wrath and indignation came. The wrath and indignation of YAHAWASHI is fastly approaching. It's going to come forth through intercontinental ballistic missiles. And YAHAWASHI is going to show up in his chariot with full powers and celestial glory. And they are going to be destroyed. America is going to be destroyed. Esau's kingdom is coming down. And there's a reward. Salvation is coming. I'm going to highlight it right here. To reward your bondservants, the prophets, and the saints. Who are the saints? The people of YAHAWASHI. Who are the prophets? The prophets are those that are teaching these scriptures on the highways and byways, starting with the apostles of GMS on down to the elders and to the brothers on the street corners. Also on the internet, which is the unicorn horn pushing lessons daily. The prophets are back through the reincarnation, prophesying once again downfall of Esau and the coming of YAHAWASHI. The reward, again, is the elect. The elect are going to receive their reward, which is salvation. And this can be read about in the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 13, the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 49 through 58, And 2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse 9. This is the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 13 and verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. The man is YAHAWASHI. The thousands of heavens are the angels, and they that were seen under him was everyone else that was scared. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. Those are the laser beams. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. These are all the armies of the other nations coming together to do battle with YAHAWASHI. But I'm going to read this quote. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. That was a quote from Ronald Reagan. We're back in the book of 2nd Esdras 13 and 5. The highlighted part is what they're going to do to gather together to come after, to try to fight YAHAWASHI. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. This is symbolic for the chariot and the size of the chariot of YAHAWASHI. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. This is talking about where you could not see where YAHAWASHI's chariot started or ended because of the massive size. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were afraid, and yet durst fight. Although they were afraid, YAHAWASHI put the spirit on them to fight. 2nd Esdras 13 and 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst to fight. Even though they were afraid to fight, the spirit was still put upon them from YAHAWASHI to come and fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor his sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. YAHAWASHI is not going to come down to fight. He's going to use his laser beams. And this scripture is talking about the laser beams, or laser beam. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. And afterward saw I the same man come down from the mountain, and call unto him another peaceable multitude. That another peaceable multitude is the elect. The ones that were glad were the elect because they are receiving salvation. The ones that aren't happy, those are not the elect. The ones that are bound are the heathens, Esau. And those who destroy the earth are going to be destroyed. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. There's saints again, saints, the people of Yahweh Bashem YAHAWASHI. And what do we have patience and faith in? What we read in the beginning, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That's Esau. Esau led into captivity. And because Esau led us into captivity, he's going into captivity. Slavery. Esau used his sword to kill. The Israelites are in captivity today. There were other nations that Esau subdued and put them into captivity as well. But the main nation that's important is the nation of Israel, because the nation of Israel is going to execute this scripture when they're back in the power seat. So he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. And Esau is definitely going into captivity to be subservient, to be bondmen and bondwomen unto the children of Israel. And then the tables are going to turn. Israel is going to be ruling once again in the power seat with YAHAWASHI on his throne, King David on his throne, the elect, the rest of the nation of Israel. But until then, here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Until that happens, we are still being patient, waiting for YAHAWASHI, faith in YAHAWASHI, Yahweh Abaratazat, that we are of the elect, that he will save us. And then we'll be able to be into the first go round, the first out on those chariots, being saved from Babylon. We're hoping to be the elect, that we won't have to come back through the nutsack into the kingdom. That will be the first go round. That's what we have patience and faith in. On that note, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKadosh, Yahweh Abaratazat. See you in the next lesson. Shalom.